Hi guys, I'm here with OG.N0tail, the captain of Team OG, and I'm going to ask him a couple of questions. So just to kick off, how do you think it's been going for you guys recently? You've had quite a strong start to Epic League so far. Would you agree?
I mean, we lost one game or one series and we won the next. I would say that so far it wasn't the strongest start. At least our first series, we didn't really show up and display what we could do. I would say yeah. Like the other series, I like more. I think you got to see more of our potential and more of what it looks like when we're feeling it and when we're having our good practice sessions.
Mhm.
So it could always be better, but I'm satisfied. So far, so good.
It's good to hear. It feels like you guys have quite a different understanding of the game to everyone else at the moment, especially in the VP series you lost. It felt like you were drafting very, very different to everyone else's. Do you feel that you're quite a different team at the moment to everyone else?
I think every team is different from each other, obviously. And talking about the meta, talking about heroes, I think there's a general consensus about the meta. At least a few heroes that people agree on. They're strong, or maybe also agree that some heroes are not as strong. But we've always had our own hero pool, and I think every player is of course different. And if you allow each player to be different, you're gonna see different item builds, different
Hmm.
character or hero compositions. Whereas maybe other teams fall more to following the meta. If there's a meta that they think that's there, and then they're like, we have to pick this or we have to do this because other people are doing it,
Hmm.
then they're not really displaying maybe what their view of the game is. They're kind of trying to display somebody else's view, what they think is their view. Um, so yeah, we're different. We're definitely different, and we're happy to be.
It feels like you guys often like to have both a playing advantage over other teams, i.e., you're better players, but you also like to have kind of a game understanding advantage, which means you often go towards a slightly different way of playing or a slightly different conception of the game. Would you agree that's always been a priority of yours?
I would say yeah, for sure. Drafting and theory crafting has always been a thing in every team I've been on, and I think in every Dota team that strives for being the best. One of the big things you're gonna have to face is strategy matters. Drafts in the end do matter. Then you can be the team that has a lot harder of a time winning from how you're drafting and still manage to win. But if you want to be the best, like why don't you try to become better in every aspect of it? It's like it's like probably saying that if you had a different training regime for somebody doing sports or weightlifting or whatever, if a different training regime could help him shape or enable other parts that he needs to do. Okay, you're a basketball player, there's a team aspect, there's a physical aspect. Maybe it's very good to train the physical aspect if you're very good already at the team aspect of the game and vice versa. So yeah, draft is super important. I would say that we value it very high, and so does every good Dota team.
Hmm. You guys have been a little, I'd say, unsettled for the past couple of months. You've had players leave, you've had players join, you've had players come back, you've had players in different places across the world. Do you feel the team's now in a more settled space than it was?
Y- Yeah, yeah, yeah. So with Corona, a lot happened, and of course, ever since TI, we it started with like one roster change, and then we did the second one since then. And I mean that's been all, and it does feel like this is gonna hopefully go for years. It's what I'm hoping
Hmm.
for. I always hope for the same thing with my rosters. It lasts for as long as it can until I retire. That would make me ultimately the happiest. But of course, other people might want to stop before me, and then that's that. But this is nice region. We're all in the same region. Dota hopefully will get some news in the near future about the DPC system and all this. I mean, this is what makes life the most turbulent. I would say is not knowing where your job is going, kind of where
Hmm.
Dota's at with the big tournaments, the big um, I mean, the big money, but also the big circuit. Like, you want to be preparing for this circuit. You want to make things, you want to get things ready, and you want to make things easier for yourself. Like, you don't want to go through open qualifiers, so you want to prepare for the circuit. You want to do well there. Um, but yeah, roster wise, everything, it's nice. Things are nice. European Dota is prevailing. Good games to play online. Yeah, I really can't complain.
It feels like you've built a team where quite a few players have moved positions. So Tobias is now moving to a more carry role, mid ones, occasionally playing carry as well, and everyone seems to be moving around various positions. Have you found that quite difficult getting everyone ready to play an OG way? Has it been quite easy to transition?
No, I would say we've gone past the transition part. I feel like everybody in this team, I mean, I know everybody in this team has the highest understanding of Dota out of anyone in the world. Like, these are the top bunch. So what we're doing now is more honing our skills and ideas of the game, and really pushing things to the limit, sharpening it. Yeah, I mean, there's always going to be, every team is going to have setbacks, and every team has to work on other things, like basic things, and feel, even just feeling well and feeling confident. But we're doing very well in terms of Dota, and where I feel like a good team. I feel like we're the best team at this. It's like our game understanding. So
Mm-hmm.
um, I'm good. I'm happy with it, with how it's going in terms of that.
You guys have often been known as an occasion team. You're obviously an incredible TI team. You've won a lot of big majors. Are you struggling a little bit with the lack of occasion involved in these online tournaments, or are you happy with them?
I miss the hype for sure. I think everybody misses the LAN events. Everybody misses the playing for something with more at stake is always more fun. So the DPC system automatically is more fun. One thing is, of course, it's usually more prestigeful, more viewers, more money. But also the points are at stake. You're playing for TI, and you're going to see other people who are trying to do the same thing, and it's not going to work for them. And when the stakes get higher, it gets more exciting. It's more interesting, and that part has still not returned. Yeah, but a lot of people have always said, one patch team. That's how it started. Then it was a two patch team, and now it's. I guess we're back to being just a fluke or an occasional team. But yeah, we like, of course, when things are more at stake. These games, we do care. We do want to win every Dota game. It's just hard to. It's of course hard to bring your A game every day and for every tournament, for every event. That's always going to be a challenge. But we focus on the big one. We focus on TI. We focus on the one that makes you able to call yourself the best in the world.
Do you have, as a captain, motivational techniques, ways that you try to get the team pepped up for tournaments like this?
Of course we do. Yeah, can't get into
Is
it though.
can't get into it. Is Seb still managing to do big speeches before every game?
Yeah, I mean, being good with words is a gift in life, and I think it's one of the greatest gifts for motivating and inspiring.
Fair enough. As well, with you guys, you have obviously a huge fan base now after winning TI, and I think you've always had a large fan base. Do you enjoy the pressure and expectation that comes from that fan base, or do you like to disassociate it a little bit and just focus on your game?
I would say both. I like it, but I also need to disassociate very much from it. Trying to take in only the positives, people sharing positive messages and general being positive. Because a lot of the times, if you lose, people feel like maybe they're losing with you, and we're already dealing with a lot of that negativity and frustration. Yeah, we don't want, at least I don't want added, like, I lose, I feel terrible, I'm a competitor, it's awful. If I go to Twitter, if I go to Instagram, I'm gonna also see a lot of people feeling that loss and maybe being frustrated,
Mm.
being mad for whatever reason. I mean, they feel the loss too, so that's a valid enough reason. But I disassociate. I don't like to always dabble in the social medias or fan interaction. But when I'm feeling good, of course, it's nice. It's an incredible thing. It's really nice to take in.
Mm-hmm. And personally, after you've won two TIs, I remember speaking to you before and also watching interviews of you, and you always said that winning a second TI was a big motivator for you. Do you still have specific things that you want to achieve in Dota, or is it now just the continuing success?
TI3, or the third TI, it's not TI3. The third and fourth TI, I mean, I think the World Championship is always where people are going to try to get their best game going. They're going to form the best team. They're going to bring the best out of themselves, or everybody's trying to. And I think the best Dota in the world is always going to be played at TI. For me, that's what I really look forward to, and that's what I really want to be part of.
Mm-hmm.
The game has always so much to offer, and people always think that the meta is fully figured out until it's not. And TI is a place where that happens all the time. And that's what gets me going after some 30 or 40,000 hours in this MOBA genre. This is what's really still exciting, the most exciting.
It feels like for you quite a personal quest that you're always going to want to be achieving greatness again and again. Do you have kind of personal goals to build that level of greatness? Is it a sense of that you want these landmark achievements, or is it just a sense of proving to yourself that you can do it always?
It's a lot of proving it to yourself. I think that's an awesome thing in life, to set yourself a goal, set yourself a challenge, or even have challenges that you didn't know were there. Like you were trying to do something else and then another challenge appeared, and you end up overcoming this, and you prove to yourself that you can do stuff. Self-achievement is one of the most amazing feelings I've experienced. So a big part of it is definitely that. And then I just love being part of the games, I really love firsthand being able to be playing that Dota game. I can choose the item, I can choose what's being done, and it's going to be our version of the best Dota played. I think for me, that's one of the best things ever.
It's good to hear. Okay, just to close up then, we've got a new patch coming soon. We're towards the end of this current patch. It's been quite a long one. Are you looking forward to the new patch?
Of course. I personally look forward to every patch. I think some are probably more missed than hit, but the change is always needed and is always positive at the end of the day, even though certain things may get too buffed, too nerfed, to something else. If we don't have the change, I do think the game tends to go very stale. And yeah, I always look forward to the Dota patches. It's what has kept this game alive for 2 decades.
Mm-hmm. And if we were to get a new patch in the middle of this tournament, how? Because I understand from talking to you guys before, what you like to do is pub a lot and just really try stuff out. If you've got a limited amount of time to do that sort of experimentation, how will you end up preparing for upcoming games on a new patch?
I mean, I wish there was a nicer system put in place. Like you said, people, not just us, I think a lot of people are going to have the same approach. They want to play a lot of the public games, want to watch as many games as possible. I do think everybody knows that this change is needed and is coming. And when you have tournaments that stretch for a very long time, they shouldn't be in the way of making it happen. But there's probably a way to make both things happen. If we know when the patch is going to hit, even within a certain time frame, it could help planning the tournament so that maybe you can do it after the group stage before the playoffs. Maybe you can do it during the group stage, but you give people a set amount of days, so it's not just 1 or 2 days before you have an official game that you're going to be playing on a new patch. You get at least 2+ days to experience it. But regardless, I think it's hype to see the new patch on official games, even when it happens really soon. So as a viewer, it's nice, but definitely as a player, I wish there was a better system put in place, or that was a system put in place.
Yeah, a system at all would be nice.
Yeah.
Okay, great. We'll leave it there then. Thanks so much for joining me, and thanks for listening.
Thanks for having me.
Посмотрел? Тогда с тебя лайк, подписка, колокольчик и смотри наши видео снова. Я проверю.